Are the Posca Mop'r markers some of the best, most versatile markers in the market? I would probably say yes, and in this video, I'm going to show you why. I'm going to show you how to activate them, the colors, and how to use them, and why they are so versatile. I'm Jenny from Jenny's Current Collection to help you find the coolest art supplies for whatever project you're doing. And these Mop'r markers, you can do so many different projects with them. First off, what are Posca markers? And I think that is one of the reasons these are so popular is because Posca is so popular. Posca comes in 65 different colors. It comes in 66 if you get one of the ones from England, which is glacier blue, which I have. So I have all the colors per se. Not all the colors come in all the tip sizes. And what does that mean? There are 8, now there's 9 different tip sizes, and I have a whole video about all the tip sizes, all the colors, and what colors all the tip sizes come in. So check that out, or I have a blog post where you can check that out also and kind of get a lay of the land for all the colors, the tips, etc. So Posca markers come in so many different ranges, so many different sizes. There is not one tip that has all of the marker colors, but there are so many different varieties that you can use them together. You're not limited to using just the Mop'r marker or a different marker. That's why they're so versatile. They have the same color palette. You can use them interchangeably if they're the same size, same color, and they all look good together. Posca markers are light fast markers, meaning once you put them down, they're not going to erase. And I want to do a video comparing Sharpie on canvas shoes to Posca on canvas shoes and see which ones last longer. And I will tell you, before I do the video, I'm sure the Posca markers will. I know that the Sharpie markers will fade over time and your sneakers won't look as great, but the Posca will stay in there because of the way they attach the surface of the canvas. And what is this, you ask? When you're dealing with paint or any other medium and you're putting it on a surface, if you're putting it on glass, it will go on glass, it'll look really nice on glass, but it will be washable. And why is that? It's because glass is a non-porous surface. What does that mean? Porous just means how penetratable is that surface. Glass does not have any little holes in it. There's nowhere for the marker to go but the surface. Wood can come in a lot of different varieties. My table here has a little bit of a finish on it, and therefore it is not as porous as some other items, but it's not as non-porous as glass. Like, it will still retain a little bit of the color. And especially if it's sanded, then it is totally porous and anything you put on it will seep in. Paper is a porous surface. Once you put it on paper, you can't take it off. Fabric is a porous surface also, but you can sometimes wash fabric. So that's why sometimes, even if you put something on, like fabric, I'm not sure you could put Posca markers on fabric and put it in the wash. I'll have to test that out because I feel like they're water-based, so it might come out once you wash it. And that's an interesting question, like, would this last if you put it on your sneakers? Would it last if you took it outside in the rain? That would be an interesting test. And that will be one that I will have to do. So we have these different surfaces. Anything really besides glass, it's going to stay on there. What are these Mop'r markers? These are brand new. They came out last year, 2022, overseas. I'm not exactly sure which countries. We didn't get them in the US until 2023, and I really wanted to get my hands on them last year, but it was just kind of impossible. This year I got my hands on them. I paid about, actually I had a coupon for Blick, so I paid about $80, which is like $10 per marker, which is pretty good. They retail for like $150. Blick was selling them for $100 or $20 for one. I'm not sure what prices they're going to be when you see this video, but that's kind of the price range that I had for these markers. They're not super cheap. It was about $100 for the whole set, you know, and then I had the coupon, so it was $80 for me. I will leave a link below to where I bought them on Blick, so you can hopefully get a good price too. Are they worth it? Are they worth this $100? I would say yes. They are really big. So this is a different Posca marker than normal. Usually the normal markers are like a circular barrel and it comes in different sizes, you know, really thin or really thick. These ones are triangular in shape. You can squeeze them to get more paint out. They have round tips. This is the latest size of Posca markers. They are 22M. I'm not sure what those numbers mean, but that's what they call them. Their sizes are 3 to 19 millimeters in size. They have a foam rubber tip that the marker comes out at. They are available in 8 colors. 8 colors isn't a ton, but if you're spending, you know, $10 to $20 per marker, if you had them in all 65 colors, that would be so much money. And I don't think I would be able to get all the colors. You can paint with these upright or inverted, and that just means the way that you hold the markers. You can hold the marker like this, or you can hold the marker like this and draw. And I have an example of, because these are really graffiti markers, the mop is kind of a graffiti term, but you can use them on so many other projects. You can use them on canvas, leather. You can use them for DIY projects. You can use them for dot art, which I will do in this video. You can use them for street art, illustration, fine art. There are so many possibilities, and I think that is kind of what makes them so versatile. So if you hold it like this, the ink doesn't come out as much, but once you start holding it like this, the ink will come out more. And I did this color study with blue, green, and yellow, and you can see the way I'm holding it. There's more ink that comes out when I hold it inverted than when I hold it straight. And especially with the yellow is not as vibrant when I don't have more ink flowing. But then you don't always want it to drip, right? So it just is kind of a trade-off. If you don't want it to drip as much, then you hold it straight up. But if you don't mind the drip and you want it to be a little bit, you know, more like laid back, kind of like that with the drips and a little more edgier, then you will hold it inverted. How do you activate these markers? These markers, you shake them up, you take off the plastic, and then you press down. That's all I had to do. And we're gonna look at all the markers really fast to see how I activated all these markers. Let's do the black one first. This is what the marker looks like. Isn't that cool? It's really, really big. You can just hear the paint in there. So we're first gonna shake it. We're going to open it up. These are huge. I can just hear the paint in those. Like, this one you cannot hear the paint. This one's like paint craziness. Okay, this is what the tip looks like. You can kind of see some of the tip point here. Okay, so we're gonna go, oh, maybe we'll just put it here and do all of them on here. So we're gonna do this. Ooh, do you see that coming out? That is cool. That's our dot. These are kind of like dot markers a little bit. Okay, so we'll do the next one. That was actually pretty easy to do. So we're gonna go to our next one. Okay, so this one already has a little blue on it. And then all I did was do a dot. You can see it coming out right there. So the more you press it, the more you get. And this one I had a lot more come out. Okay, a little bit has come out already. I'm gonna press it. Whoa. shake it. Whoa, that was so much. We can do this one here. Okay. We just have 2 more. I think we can fit them in. Got a little bit in the green. Now these only come in 8 colors, and that's, you know, a little disappointing, but you can blend them. And I tried to blend them a few ways. The first time I tried to blend them, I blended them like trying to like just put, you know, little dots down and then putting another dot on top of it. Then I realized that my nibs, and these are expensive markers, might get ruined. I could not get the blue out of the pink. And I was like, I cannot combine all these colors and just have random like brown colors in the end for my $100 markers. So I used a paintbrush to do it. And it took me a second. I was like, oh, how am I going to do this? But I used a paintbrush to get all the colors blended together. I only did like 1/2. So I like did one color on top of another. You could do it where the opposite, where you put the other color on top of the other color, because you might get a slightly different shade. That's something else you can do. But I just wanted to kind of get an idea of what colors I would get when I blended them together. And that was really nice for some other projects I did. So here's all the blending that I did. And I think there's some really pretty color combinations, especially all the white. It just creates this really pretty pastel range. The next thing that I did was dot art, and I was really inspired because I went to Toy Fair in September and do a dot art, which I want to use a lot more. They have kind of the same nib, and they had so many cool projects with dot art, which I didn't realize was possible. And so I had some of my own ideas. I did this star page right here where I cut out a star and then I put it on the paper. And then I dotted all around it and created like a little night sky. And I think it turned out fun. You want to make sure that you get all around the star. Otherwise, there will be some missing parts on that. You can, if some of the color gets under, you can use the black or the white to kind of cancel that out. The other one was kind of the opposite, where I made an outline and then I dotted inside of it. So you can dot outside of something, inside of something. There's so many different ways. You can put like tape on it and then take the tape off. I didn't realize there was so many ways to do dot art. The next project that I tried was they said you could blow these on their website. And so I was like, okay, I'll try. So I put a whole bunch of dots like I did before and I blew them. I will tell you, as I was blowing these, that I was kind of lightheaded. I was like, I don't know if this is the project for me. I like the end result. I thought it was really cool. I would maybe use like a hairdryer or something next time. I think that would kind of create a cool effect, and then I wouldn't be so out of breath, and I would actually maybe get a little bit more travel of the colors. So maybe I'll try that again sometime and try that a little bit more. But just for fun, like this first experiment, I was like, this is awesome. The other dot art that I did was I did a little bit of splashing. I didn't really get the splashing effect as well as maybe some other people got. I don't know if you have to like press it or something, but I didn't quite get that, you know, like a splash effect. And I kind of really had to work at it. I, you know, went like this and moved it all around. I picked up the canvas and I moved the canvas all around to kind of get the colors moving. And I think that turned out okay, but I don't know if it's something I would like always do with these markers. Another project that was really fun was using them as watercolors. So when I was blending all these markers, I had a palette off to the side that I would wring out the color because I didn't want to interfere with the other color. And so in the end, I had a towel full of color and I put it on a sheet, and then I just pressed down and I got all this color out. So it was just this random color that I had together, and it created this really cool background. I did some lettering on top of that and I used the watercolor. So what I did is I took like the blue and green, and I knew what color they would make because I had my blending chart. And then I was able to combine them together, and sometimes it was like a different gradient or a different shade, and that's kind of what the way watercolor is. And then I put a border around it, and then I used like a silver to make the shadows, because shadows is everything when you're doing lettering. The colors were tied together because the colors in the background, I tried to match the teal by creating the teal. The teal doesn't exist in this color range, but I created it and I was able to put it on the paper. And when I did this create sign, I did the letters like, so it was the outline that we talked about, and then I put the colors inside of it, and then I used a paintbrush to go around, and then because some of the paint got off to the sides, I outlined it again in black, and then I used some silver for shading because I love shading. And I feel like the background could use a little bit more. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's fine white, or should I put a little bit more background? I had a few ideas of what to do for the background, but I haven't done it yet. One of these pieces kind of started out as dot art, and I was doing it, well actually, the first part of the piece came because I was trying to get my pink marker to not be blue anymore. And then I painted dots on top of it, and then I was like, ooh, I think I should swirl these around. So I used the paintbrush. And then once that was dry, I created a cool marble effect. And then once that was dry, I lettered on top of it. And then I did some of my outlines with the pink marker. So it was incorporated some of the colors from the actual marker that was used in the background, but it was just darker. And I think that one turned out fine. It was a Taylor Swift song, "The Bigger Than the Whole Sky." One of the advantages to coloring on glass, especially like if you're a small business or a company, is you could put it like on glass and make something look cool, like, or on windows outside of a business, because these will cover a lot of space very quickly. These markers can also be used for backgrounds because they paint super quickly. It's almost like you have a paintbrush when you use them. I don't know if I would do like huge, but like a canvas size, it would color very, very quickly. I wonder how these would do on chalkboards. Like, would it come off easy? That would be a cool experiment to do with these markers. Let me know if you want to try it. These ended up being some of my favorite markers. So fun to experiment with. I went through so much paper. My desk was a mess because I was just like, oh, I should do this, this, and this. And then it wasn't always dry, so sometimes things got messy a little bit. But it was so fun to experiment with. I can't wait to experiment. I'm sure my kids are going to experiment more. And I feel like these are just a fun marker. They're a little expensive. You want to make sure that you close the cap all the time. You don't want them to dry out. You want to make sure that You treat them with respect, but you'll actually have a lot of fun with them. There's so many different ways to use them. And I think that's why they're so popular, is that people can use them in such a diverse variety of ways. And you can have cutesy things, you can have graffiti, you can have illustrations, you can have so many different uses with these markers, and they're light fast, they're a good high quality product, and they'll make whatever you're doing look awesome because the colors are vibrant. Do you like these markers? And tell me, which project did you like best that I did today? I have some of my favorites, but I don't know if you guys have the same ones. One of my favorites was the dot where I blowed the art. I blew the art, and I think the Welcome to New York where I painted with them was really cool, even though that was kind of an accidental piece. That was really fun. And of course, I like the blending chart because I love swatch charts and I love creating colors and seeing what colors come. Let me know what you think. I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.